Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Shawn Gavin Thomas, independent music artist here based in Florida, and you're watching Mikey's Untitled Music Podcast.
Welcome to Mikey's Entitled Music Show. Today, we got Shawn Gavin Thomas here joining us in the show. We're going to try and learn where his musical creativity and where his musical mind comes from. Shawn, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Mikey. What's going on, man?
Definitely. Thank you so much for joining. This is a new podcast, and, you didn't have to say yes when I reached out, and you did.
I try to put as many as I can. It's always not a struggle. It's always a challenge. Let's just say when you have such a very stacked schedule and you're trying to put everything in, and trying to keep it light but keep it busy, because like I said, there's so many musicians out there that, like, I'm looking at their schedule and, like, every single day, and like some do like 4 shows in one day. I'm like, whoa! It's like, you gotta have some breathing room, man. Like, I know there's a passion behind it, but, like, you gotta sometimes just stop and smell the roses a little bit.
Right. So we're gonna get into, where your creativity comes from. But for now, you have a new single out right now called Focused. Um,
Well, not quite new per se, but it's been
okay.
almost a year. It's almost reached 1 year, so
And
but it's kicking.
in that year, you've already had it's a 28,000 streams, 28,000 listens.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. How does
It's
that feel?
it's pretty good for now. We have to kind of give the history of Focus to what it's about. Now, keep in mind, I held membership with the Barbershop Harmony Society for well over 20 plus years. So in that organization, I've been very blessed to win 2 district championships here in Florida. I reside in Florida, and also the Mid-Atlantic region. So in Florida, this is what's called the Sunshine District. So in 2018, I won a district championship here with a quartet called Headline, which was kind of thrown together. Like most of my quartets are kind of thrown together to see what happens. And this one was very fortunate enough in its second configuration, because there was a first configuration back in 2017-ish, I think, yeah, that went there and placed second. And then the next year was pretty much the same type of configuration with a couple of parts that were subbed in that took first place, and we won. So that was one of my district championships. That was my most recent district championship with Barbershop Harmony Society with Sunshine District. And then the other one goes back to almost 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago, with a quartet called New Release, which that quartet has had very good fame, good success, if you will, in the International Youth Collegiate Contest. Well, it's not really the collegiate anymore, but it's now the International Youth Contest with the Barbershop Harmony Society, which that quartet back in 2005 finished second at 2005 and 2006, finished second place silver medals for that. And then during kind of like the college years of it, I wasn't really in college, but with that time frame from 2005 to 2008, for 4 consecutive years in a row, I've been very fortunate to medal every single year from that. So 2 silvers and 2 bronzes in 2007 and 2008 with 2 different configurations. So in 2007, there was a quartet that I was in called On Demand, which won the 4th place medal. And then the 5th place, now you wonder, it's like we're going down in stature, was because the level of the competition got harder and harder every time it was moving forward. So in 2008, I was part of a quartet called Crunch Time that was 5th place. And we finished 5th place, but you would figure, like, 5th place out of 25 quartets at the time, that's a huge accolade right there, and
Yeah,
trying
definitely.
to beat all these, to basically be in that competition of the top 5, just to be in 5th place. Like, even I said to my past quartet that was like 2nd place, just to finish 5th, I'll be happy if I finish 5th, seeing
Yeah.
out of the chute, out of all the out of 25 quartets that are vying for that gold. And I mean, the winners of each of those years, I mean, deservedly so. I mean, they're the one that when I was fifth, the winner of that quartet went on to win the international regular contest, and they're
Oh,
from
wow.
the Sweden area, Stockholm,
Uh-huh.
Sweden. And the Swedish quartets in that organization are notoriously, in a good way, just excellent singers. I mean, their craft, their technique, everything about them is just like mind blowing, and they're deservedly so. They're fantastic singers, and to be in that field is just an honor in itself. So, like, am I out to win, to do the best, to win? Yes, but also to do the best I possibly can. And for me to have that success from 2005 to 2008 to get in the international rankings, to be in the medalist conversation, is just something that I take with pride. It's not easy to do. I mean, and it's not easy to find three other guys that are basically up to your level or close to be able to create that moment for an audience. So very blessed to be in that type of thing. So I've been active with the Barbershop Harmony Society, doing vocal learning tracks as a business for well over 20 plus years. And it's not as much contact these days because I've been really focusing on the independent scene as an
Hmm.
artist. So it's a much different monster than because like the Barbershop Harmony Society is known as kind of like the amateur singing organization because we don't have professional singers in the Barbershop Harmony Society. It's mostly people that come from off the streets, and they're part of barbershop choruses or chat in
Hmm.
chapters all around the United States of America, but also in the world as well. Like we have organizations in Sweden, France, Germany, Japan. There's a chorus in Tokyo called the Tokyo Barbers, from what I remember. It's become very worldwide, and that's before it was just kind of just in America, but now we have these affiliate organizations that are branching out into all over the world. I mean, you got Sweden, you got Ireland, you've got the England with the British Association of Barbershop Singers. Pretty much anywhere you can think of, barbershop is evolving, and it's not a worldwide reach. Like it's not like as an independent artist where you can reach out where the entire world. You're here. Like rock is very universal around the
Hmm.
world.
Yeah.
Barbershop is a little bit more of a niche. It's a more of a niche genre. So trying to get millions of people basically to latch in to that is a little bit more, I feel, more challenging than as an independent artist where you're able to put your song out there for the world to hear, and your creativity. Like it allows me now to be even more creative, and I still have barbershop harmony in my heart because I've won championships, but now going into this type of field really has allowed me to be even more creative than I was, I think, before.
Can you tell us about one of, your earliest memories you have with, being creative or using your own creativity with music?
So let's go back to when I was born. Well, actually, not quite when I was born. Probably when I was about 5 years old, or actually not even that. 3 years old. This is let's go back 1985-ish when I was about
Mhm.
3 years, 2 or 3 or so. So, anyways, it was I'm a born and raised Clevelander. I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm living in Florida, but I'm kind of rebuilding back kind of bases up in the north. But uh, originally from Cleveland, Ohio, I lived by Cleveland Hopkins International Airport, which that section now is pretty much an expansion of the airport. But where
Mm.
I used to live, you had streets and neighborhoods and stuff like that. So I was originally from there and lived in that particular area, and I have the great vivid memories of the airport, of the airplanes flying over my house, and it was
Mm.
always fun to deal with that. But that's just being living by the airport, and you know, I I was at my parents' house, at the time, I was young child, and I
Mhm.
hear uh, Genesis, which is Phil Collins, throwing it all away on the radio, and I'm like. kind of singing to it, just kind of babbling, blah, blah, blah. I'm not really singing to it, but just kind of babbling. And that was
Yeah.
kind of my first, that's my first exposure to music in
Mm-hmm.
general. That's kind of like the first introduction of that. And I wasn't really singing, I was just kind of listening to it. And there are photos like, I mean, I'll post kind of throwback kind of photos of on my socials, which I'll give to everybody in a while. But it's just like me with the microphone and just kind of singing around at my grandparents' house, and just doing that, and that's the first kind of evolution, I think, that with that, and that really just allowed me to kind of hear music. And then as I got older, when I got into school, especially
Mm-hmm.
more specifically in middle school, and I owe a great deal of gratitude to my middle school choir teacher, high school choir teacher at the time, Mrs. Judy Crandall, uh, really getting into the music, I would say the more serious side, and the evolution of me doing it as a career basically, and as music, doing it, with being involved with the middle school singers and the choirs and the theater productions in high school, and then I got involved with the Cleveland Orchestra Youth Chorus. Back in 90, kind of 99ish to 2001, around that area there. So this basically sophomore to senior year, I was involved
Mm-hmm.
with like SWC honors choirs, which is like kind of the regional high school choir competitions then. And
Mm-hmm.
our school, Olmsted Falls High School, was very, I mean, good. It was excellent what we did, and we were getting like superior ratings at the time, and that was a good. I was blessed to be part of a good music school in high school that really said, you know what, I want to do this for the rest of my life. I really want to, I want to go more as a career. So uh, I went to college. I went to Cleveland State University for a short time because I found that the college life wasn't really my way of going. Like the way it was going more kind of the choral, regular music education. Just the Western civilization style of music, which that you
Mm-hmm.
see in every high school and every area that all around in America, with just regular high school and school teachings. But I found that wasn't really what I wanted to do. I wanted to go more kind of like what I grew up on, when I was listening to, when I first got evolved, like when I first
Mm-hmm.
wanted to be as a musician, uh, listening to the pop music and listening to all this stuff. I was like, this is what I want to more do. But in college, I got introduced to the Barbershop Harmony Society, and then that was kind of almost accidental to be involved in the music with that, and then doing vocal learning tracks as my profession from basically 2002 to what I'm doing today. And now it's almost kind of evolving to a much different way now as an independent artist. So it's taken its leaps and bounds. Have there been failures? Sure, absolutely. I mean, you gotta fail to succeed. I mean, that's
Oh,
one of the things.
definitely.
You're going to go through all these challenges and these tribulations, and I think that's like with my single focused, which we'll dig deeper into, is about no matter what trials and tribulations and challenges you're going through, you got to keep moving forward. And I think that was kind of my inspiration to write Focused right there.
Yeah, and focus is the first time I heard it, it got me all riled up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
It got
yeah.
me
Man.
motivated, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Well, it's been dubbed the motivational anthem by many people. Like, and I've done several podcasts last year, or just like uh, uh, I'll give big shout outs to No Cover TV, which they're doing a fantastic job. And Big Al Breedy, I'm going to give a shout out. I don't like to do public shout outs on other podcasts, but Big
oh,
Al Breedy,
go ahead, go
he
ahead.
was just like locked on. He's like, brother, man, this song is like rocking and all that. And I said, it's like I wrote this because there are people out there that just need some motivation. It's like,
Mhm.
like here's another true story. And luckily I'm actually still alive to tell the story. So back in November, just right before Thanksgiving, I got into a severe car accident,
Oh
and
wow.
it was a head-on collision with another car, and I was like, whoa. First of all, I said, thank God I'm still alive to even
Oh
see.
yeah.
That's the first thing, because
Hmm.
cars can be replaced, your life cannot. And it was kind of like the real, like, I said to myself, as a bump in the road, and basically crap happens. So
Yeah.
it happens. I mean, this stuff can happen out of nowhere. And I said to myself, this is just the trial and tribulation of, like, you got to keep moving forward. This stuff happens. And I said, I'm glad I wrote Focus, because it's a good challenge of, like, like, I've still got, there was, big scars, bumps and bruises. I was sore for a while, and now I'm, better now, thank God. But it took about a good month to recover. I was sore. I was like, man, I was like, and still I'm kind of recovering a little bit. My left leg felt most of the majority of it,
Hmm.
because when I'm driving, I kind of have my left leg kind of relaxed, and then when I got into the accident, it's like boom. Like, first of all the airbags deploted, so it was total, complete. Car was completely totaled, and I'm a brand new vehicle now. But
Hmm.
it was a scary moment, and for me, it's like I thank the Lord I'm okay. And for me, the recovery process was, luckily I didn't have to go to the hospital. It was a natural healing process. And you know it's for everybody, that checked up on me. Thank you for the thoughts and prayers and well wishes and all that. And I said to myself, it's a bump in the road. And now that that's behind me, now we're into chapter 2025. What's next? The new chapter of it. And it's going to be a challenge. I always say to people that are going through these challenges and tribulations and trials, and they think they're just not getting anywhere. And I have to remind myself, because I even self-doubt myself. Even a couple of days ago, I'm just self-doubting myself. But I always have to keep saying to myself, it's a challenge. You just have to keep pushing forward. And that's why Focused, the song that I wrote, was is a motivational anthem. No matter what you're going through, no matter what the challenges you're going through, no matter, if life wants to keep pushing you down, you got to keep picking yourself back up. And I'm a big pro wrestling fan, and a good motivational guy right now, Diamond Dallas Page. Man,
Mm. Oh yeah.
he's he is probably one of the biggest motivators. That's like, you know what? And he even said, you got to keep moving forward. You can't think about the past. It's over with. You just got to keep moving forward. And if anybody not has not heard of him on listening to your podcast, or is not, you don't have to be a pro wrestling fan. He's
Hmm.
turning people's lives around. I mean,
Oh yeah.
there's people that are like wheelchair bound. and
Hmm.
and Butterbean, who was like this, I remember years ago, pro wrestling, he couldn't even get out. Couldn't even walk. And then here's DDP, which, that's a nickname, getting this
Hmm.
guy out of his wheelchair, walking on his own marrow, literally everything. It's just incredible what he's doing. And I'm like, people are like, just amazed at what he's trying to do. So he has his own yoga class in Georgia, and one of my goals, actually, to visit his studio. And
Mm.
just it's just amazing what he's doing with just regular people, that, either if it's to lose weight, or to do, like, ice buckets soaking in there, and saying, like, the first time you soak in it, like when I was recuperating with my leg, I did kind of like my own ice bucket. The first time you're getting in there, it's like, ooh, it's like it's cold, and you're getting
Hmm.
used to it. But you have to train your body. It's like, to adapt to it. And if you don't train your body to adapt to it, it's never going to adapt to it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things, like, just like the voice. When we sing, you have to continually doing vocal exercise, and you have to get the muscle memory and the placements and all that. And you have to just get yourself, in that zone, in that placement and that habit of getting to that point. So, like I said, I'm a big motivational speaker type guy. Steve Harvey, Diamond Dallas Page, uh, my photographer, who is as humble as can be. Big shout out to Max Clark. He's the king, Max King Clark, and he gives his own 1 minute of encouragements. And he's one I consider him my best friend here in Florida. And he's done some of my photography stuff, and he's a drummer with one of the local groups at Disney Springs. Dre C, if you're ever in Disney Springs, go see Dre C. He performs almost on a regular basis. He and Dre knows who I am. Andre knows who I am, and follows my Instagram, and we talk a lot of music. So it's a cool thing. But yeah, I'm about motivation and the motivational speakers out there. So that's kind of what keeps me going every day, I think.
Motivation has worked for me like as well. There's
Mhm.
around maybe 2010 or no 2011 2012 I got in a little dark place in my life, and I was wondering, I went to therapy and I was doing these things. All they wanted to do was give me drugs pretty much, and you
Mhm.
know it just that wasn't working out for me at that
Yeah.
time. And so one of the things that really got me were motivational videos on
Hmm.
Facebook,
Hmm.
and they started just getting into my feed. And
Hmm.
I remember just watching a motivational video a day,
Hmm.
just things would come up in my feed. And honestly, that really helped. The thought that just staying positive, you know,
Yeah.
staying positive through anything, the power of positivity, that's a real thing.
Oh, it is.
Um,
It is.
it's
Yeah.
it's definitely helped me out. And the line I really enjoy, where you in your song Focus, is like Winston Churchill once said, "If you're
Hmm.
going through hell, keep going."
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
totally true. And in my job right now, I work for a restaurant,
Hmm.
and there are times where, um, well, I used to be a manager also, but there were times where, people would tell me, "Hey, like, you know, there's a lot going on right now, and you're calm. How are you so calm?" And that's just one thing, is just staying positive. It's gonna end. It's gonna end tonight. This isn't gonna be forever. We're gonna get through it. You
Hmm.
know, we're gonna
Well,
get through it.
yeah, yeah. I think obviously today's world can be very toxic. Obviously I never like to bring any type of political uh things to anything, because that's like a whole different thing. But like the political
Mhm.
climate over, not just like the currently right now, but just over the past 10 years,
Mhm.
it's that transition of because for me, uh, I'm more in the central part of it, because you're going to have, regardless of what you believe in, whether you're
Mhm.
Republican, Democrat, Independent, or whatever, whatnot, you're going to have people that are just not going to agree with you.
Yeah.
And there are people out there that are just trying to make their statement, and they think they're right.
Mhm.
When in reality, they're not right. They're just what they believe in.
Yeah.
And it's really about belief, because if you we're going back to like with like Facebook profile, there's actually a thing, political views, religious views. They're not
Mhm.
saying like, oh, I have to be that. It's the view of what you've experienced and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And what it is like right now with the country, it's just what of the experience. It's not going to be forever on that particular experience or view. Like, and that's where the positivity comes to play, where it's like, you know what? I know you're feeling this way. Regardless of what your view is, I know you're
Mhm.
feeling this way. I know that maybe you've experienced this, but it's not forever. But you can't push an agenda that everybody's going to agree, and that's just fact. And for when with my music, I keep everything positive. I don't put any of that outside noise that you hear on
Mhm.
any, because this is positivity. We're saying, because my music resonates regardless of what you believe, because it's positivity. It's the
Mhm.
encouragement to say, no matter how you feel, keep going forward, because you're going to have those challenges regardless of what you believe in, because it's, you know, you can't be judged upon that. It's what, if you're dealing with a crappy day, if you're having a bad day, anybody could have a bad day, regardless of
Yeah,
what you believe.
that's right.
And for me, it's like, have it fun. Like if there's something that's like, you know, gut wrenching, like there's a song that I'm writing about, like because of loss. Like when I was 6, I lost my father, and like there are people that just judge me that don't even know. They don't even know what I went through, and it's
Hmm.
like, it's a working, like if only they knew, and which is a working title. Like if only they only knew what I went through. You can't just like,
Hmm.
you know like you think you know me, but you don't know me. And that's and
Yeah.
that's, that's one of the next songs that it's a more deeper song that I haven't written yet, but the next song that I'm writing, this will be the new single this year, is called Miracle. And it's basically going through, the odds are stacked, like all these challenges, and it's just like the same situations that I'm, like, oh man, like I don't feel like I'm going anywhere, but it's that miracle of hope that if I just believe in myself, because it's about people that never believed in me to begin with. So it's like, like, oh, okay, you say you believe in me, but you never really believed in me to begin with.
That's
And I'm,
something that's something I had to learn now. Like
mhm,
with the part, I'm not saying they like nobody believes in you, but nobody's going to believe in you the way that you believe in yourself.
mhm.
And nobody's going to have the passion for you that
But
you're going to have for yourself.
right.
You
Well, it's like Steve Harvey, which is one of my motivational guys. Like imagination. The only reason, like, only you can see it. When people say, like, oh, like he says about this, oh yeah, hey, I got an idea, and people laugh at it because, well, because you see it, they don't see it, you see it, and that's what this song is about. Is like, and this is one of the working hooks that we have. The ones you thought believed in you never believed to begin with. So if you believe in yourself, then the miracle of that belief comes true. The
and
miracle
it's
will come.
yeah, and it's not like, you don't have love from the people around you or anything.
Oh
And
yeah, you're gonna have fans. I mean, yeah, your super fans, your diehard fans. They'll believe in you, but not everybody is going to, like, there's gonna be people that are like, oh yeah, hey, nice job, and then they'll talk behind your back. That's
oh
kind of
yeah.
what that song's about. This is a little bit different than focus. Like focus is about encouragement of, yeah, believing in yourself, but if going through hard times. This is like believing in yourself. This song is about, no, those people that you thought were like your friends, they weren't really your friends. This
Hmm.
is like, we're gonna just like say, you know, the naysayers can say what they want. This is what I'm going for.
Yeah, I love that. And that's a big I love quotes uh that share that. And one another one is dreams only work if you do. Or
Yeah.
dreams only work if you do. And another one that really kind of, I mean, I've heard him say it before, but Jim Carrey, one of my favorite actors of all time, some of my favorite movies of all time, um, he said something like, if you're not if you're not willing to take to downgrade for a year to do what you want for the rest of your life, then you care too much about what other people think about you. And that's totally true. Like,
So funny.
people.
This is so funny, Mikey, because last year I just took about 3 months break, like, you know, the downgrading and everything. It's kind of like stepping back and saying, you know what, like I'm just going like a million miles an hour, and it's like, let me like prepare some stuff. Like I have
Mhm.
some gigs booked like at the latter end of this year, but I didn't really book anything to because I'm just taking my time. I'm building. I'm basically taking that, you know yeah, that down, not really downgrade, but just kind of like the break from it
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
great for the future. And that's very true. That's an excellent quote right there.
Oh yeah, and that's kind of like that's where I'm at right now.
Mhm.
Um, you know, I'm taking a step back. I'm actually going to be going to school in February for radio and podcasts to, try to hone my craft,
Yeah.
try to get, audio production and, video production, and, just, yeah, just trying to hone my craft. And dreams only work if you do, right? And, you
You
know,
got
I, that's where we're at right now. And, I want to say thank you again for helping me with this journey. Um, Coming along with me. It's gonna be a really good time.